Hi, and welcome to the Esther Foundation's Healing Cafe, a series where we interview a number of unique and interesting guests about their experiences with mental health. My name is Abigail Langer, and today's guest is going to be Heejin Lee. Thank you so much for joining us today, Heejin.
Thank you. Hello everyone. My name is Heejin Lee. Thank you for having me.
Today, we're going to be talking about the topic of depression, and Heejin is here today to share with us her story. So, Heejin, I'm curious, describe how it felt living with depression before you had received treatment.
Before I received treatment, when I was living with depression, I actually went through suicidal ideation, and I experienced doubts towards myself, and I was very hopeless, and I just wished I wasn't here anymore, and I was just having all those thoughts to myself, and I was afraid to tell anyone about it. But then my mom recommended me to join healing camp because it was announced at our church. And after I joined the healing camp, for the first time, I think that's when I realized that, people like me, they exist. And it's not just me that's going through depression or that's going through difficult circumstances in life. At first, people were hesitant to speak up, but I decided to open up, and through me, other people in my group were opening up too. And I was like, wow, this is really wonderful. This is heartwarming. And it was like making the atmosphere very warm too, because everyone is sharing, everyone is emphasizing, everyone is listening to you, and they're not judging you. That's what I really loved about healing camp.
And so you mentioned during this very, very tough time in your life and dealing with these emotions, it's very hard for people to feel comfortable reaching out for help. I'm curious, in that first healing camp session, what gave you the courage to speak up and share your story first?
I'm the type of person that just wants to let it out on my chest, because I don't really like holding it in for a long period of time. It makes me feel uncomfortable too, and break the awkwardness, the silence. I was like, why not give it a shot? So that's why I just shared it, and turns out very well.
Now, why do you feel like, especially other members of your group therapy session or maybe friends and family, why do you feel like it can be so hard to reach out and talk about those hard things?
I personally think, talking about depression, talking about any other mental illnesses, if you say it to your friends or family, or to anyone that you love, what if they look at you weird, or treat you weird, or look at you differently? Think I had that fear, before I told my family and friends about my mental illness. So I had a fear, what if they judge me, or what if they hate me, or if they leave me, It feels like a burden, and it feels like you're just giving that burden to people that cares about you, and I really didn't like that, and to be honest, I still don't like that too, but I'm glad that my friends and family are still supportive of me, and they reassure me. So thank God they do that, because I think that's what's really important, giving reassurance to people with depression.
I feel like many people share a similar sentiment in this sort of situation. You don't want to feel like a burden, and it's really hard to guess how your loved ones will react when you tell them that you're struggling. So when you had that first moment, kind of breaking the news and talking about these hard topics. What did you expect them to say, and what actually happened?
Or like, what's wrong with you? Like, you're weird. Oh, I don't trust you. Like, or just not say anything. Just like, ignore me or be ignorant about it. That's what I thought it would have happened. My mother, actually, she was crying when she actually found out. I didn't tell her directly. She happened to find out, and she was crying, and she told me, hey, if you really want to end your life, you should end your life after me. And she was very, very, very sad about it, and all my friends were very upset too. They weren't upset at me; they were upset with me. They were just crying with me. They felt the pain with me. The fact that they're caring about me and they're listening to me, they're empathizing with me is wow, I think this is how it feels like to be loved.
So, Heejin, what I'd like to know is, after going through this very dark time and telling us those hard feelings that you had, after receiving the support and receiving mental health treatment, how would you describe your feelings now towards your depression?
Right now, I can't 100% say that I'm completely healed because of the obstacles that I'm going through and that I will go through in the future. Sometimes they can call for depression again. I can't help but to just think of my loved ones, the healing camp too, how it has impacted me and changed me. If I just think about all those things, I realize that I can't just stay negative like this, I have to at least try to be positive. I'll ask for help. In my group therapy, I'll reach out to my friends and I'll reach out to my parents. So I think that's what's keeping me going right now, even though I am still struggling with it. So I'm just not, I'm just trying not to lose hope. Yeah.
And exactly, and that's a common misconception about conditions like depression. It's not, an on and off switch.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you went to the right support group and now you're completely healed. It's a lifelong condition.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful and appreciative that you've been able to find these tools that now help you manage your depression day to day. And your final point was talking about hope. And something I'd like to ask you as our final question is, what is something that you are hopeful for your near future?
Something that's hopeful for me in the near future will be, I guess, my future career. I'm studying psychology right now, and I want to become a school counselor where I help young teenagers. I want to teach them and help them that mental health is important too, and that that they're not alone. I feel like they need the most help out of anyone else. So that's why I'm very hopeful about my future career. And if later, because I'm interested in journalism too, and if I can get my minor in journalism, I want to also host my own radio show, podcast about mental health and spread awareness like that.
Well, what a perfect first step coming on and joining us today. And we want to thank you again for taking one step towards your mission of helping young adults with their mental health by having the courage to come here today and to share your story, which is so important. We guarantee that for young people at home, listen to Heejin's story and feel comfortable to reach out. Thank you again for joining us today at Esther Ha Foundation's Healing Cafe. For more resources and information on how to receive mental health treatment, please check the links below in the description box, including links on how to join our Healing Camp group therapy program, and also a link to our mental health crisis hotline. And as always, you are not alone.
With Esther Ha Foundation, you are not alone.